View of the first match of AEW Bash at the Beach. Perfect. Not perfect, but like for 20 minutes it was pretty perfect. It was a little slow in the beginning, which is another problem. But there was like so many tags, so many finishers, and then you interrupt the pinfall so that the finisher isn't finished. If it was 60 minutes, it could have been like a 5-star match. They told the story about the lead. Who the hell's that? Who's that lady in the lifeguard thing? Pretty interesting. I thought they were teasing Hangman Page not being a heel actually a little bit of this. He was trying to help the Elite win the match. It sucks that it's in picture in picture now, so he can't show what they're saying. That's a big problem actually. A lot of finishers. Santana and Ortiz have incorporated into NJPW junior tag team style very well. I felt like the junior tag team division in NJPW really lacked once the Young Bucks were gone. AEW lacked too, and then the recent after the Young Bucks versus the LAX match, like that JPW junior heavyweight tag match just seemed to be a lot better paced, a lot of finishers. They teased was that DDP? Yeah, it's DDP. He looks like he's wearing an LAX hat. DDPY. They did super kick stuff. They did all the LAX was finishers. They were brought back up a level like Private Party was when they faced the Young Bucks. When they faced the Lucha Bros. The first spot I really liked was when Matt Jackson does the quadruple, Northern Light suplex, and then counters straight into the Trent double tornado DDT. There's a double. Way later in the match, there was a double Got style power driver by both. I don't know why he does the Got style power driver when he was never in Suzuki Gun. He was in Chaos, but anyway, both him and Chuck Taylor do the Got style power driver. I think they failed to do it. I forget. There's the 4-on-4. I forget what the name of the suplex. They used to do it all the time in WCW, but anyway, 4-on-4 suplex. And then Orange Cast, the ref was down, so I was wondering. First, it was good that the ref sold it, and then they're all in the Bash of the Beach uniforms, and then Orange Cassidy shows up, is the fifth guy, helps win the suplex. That was perfect use of Orange Cassidy. He got the big pop. He got the big pop when he was just introduced in the match and didn't do much. The best friends were like trying to incorporate him, tell him what to do when they were on the outside, but he didn't do much outside of that. I wonder if Luthor is a tie-in for Warner Brothers and Lex Luthor. They can do that now because it's like a Warner Brothers tie-in. They can do. There's a lot of stuff they can do. Cody responds to MJF up next. Pretty good. They have. I'm trying to remember. It was a really good match. It was like a standard 5-star match you would get the Young Bucks. A little bit sloppy, but it was still like very junior heavyweightish and JPW junior heavyweightish. There was a spot where he does the face buster into the back, in the inside to the back flip to the outside, and then Chuck Taylor did the plancha the rolling plancha to the outside over the top rope. Cody Rhodes is doing his entrance now. LAX did a lot of cheap moves. They were like the chicken heels, which really incorporates with Jericho. They were getting cheered for like the Eddie's Three Amigos. It's interesting though, because like they're from one of them's from Puerto Rico at least, so they don't really like Carlito Colon. They don't really have a lucha libre style. Cody Rhodes has the Miami Vice uniform in. A lot of fireworks for him. I would like that they had AEW announce the corporation at the pay-per-view. Had announced the extension of the TNT contract at the pay-per-view. I guess they'll do it right now. American Nightmare Cody. His Twitter is at Cody Rhodes. Cody Runnels. They teased the Adam Page stuff. Breaking up. I don't think it's done as well as it could be. I'll get back to more of the junior tag team match. So many good spots. They did perfect. Do the finisher and then break it up so that there's more energy. And that's how much you have 7 other guys in the match. And this is great tag team wrestling. What thoughts? Subscribe. I'm gonna hear the Cody promo right now. Hikaru Shida, Statlander versus Brandy and Meg. Uh, Brandy was in the match. Statlander looked good, having the final move. It was pretty long, considering that Brandy was in the match. They had Brandy break up a pin. I don't know, the main part is that the woman draw has a strong follow-up to Cody and the tag match. Hikaru Shida is basically Bret Hart. Not as awesome. She doesn't have as awesome moves, but she just does everything perfectly, you know? Maybe she's like tending, I don't know. Something like that. What are your thoughts? Like and subscribe. Damn good. Brilliant booking, AEW. Let me mute it. So, I felt like Guevara did too much offense to Moxley. It was very good offense, though. Very entertaining. He's starting a bit of a mean streak. In the end, Moxley got the one with a choke. Coquina clutch. Then all the lights went out, and then all the inner circle beat up Moxley. LAX held him down. Guevara went very heelish. It's really going to hurt his YouTube show. Like slapping Moxley across the face. Jericho spiked him in the eye. Took a spike off his, like, World Warrior-ish Legion of Doom-ish jacket. And then spiked Moxley in the eye. Really good way to move the storyline. So he probably can't go on in the tournament. Maybe Guevara goes on. Maybe it's a bye. And then just see Moxley can't. We see Moxley recover. Maybe they milk it like, oh, he can't get back to wrestling. But then he comes back a month later after having a hiatus because he's in New Japan doing that stuff. And then he wrestles Jericho at the pay-per-view. It sort of hurts his momentum after that awesome, just kidding about the Inner Circle storyline. But other than that, it's pretty good. What are your thoughts? Oh, Hager was pretty good with his MMA background, beating the crap out of Moxley, etc. What are your thoughts? Like, subscribe. So I thought it was a bad move that, I don't know, Jericho can still do it. It's still not the end of the show. But Jericho should come out and talk about how AEW extended the TNT deal because of him. Instead, it's still pretty good. What was probably booked before the deal got extended with TNT. He didn't talk about the second show either. We shall still see if that happens in the rest of the show. But he can, after the Moxley beatdown, take the car back after beating the crap out of Moxley the week before and having the car stolen and not having Moxley join. What are your thoughts? Like and subscribe. Chris Jericho after the John Moxley beatdown AEW Bash at the Beach. Feels like the NWO took over with the Inner Circle taking over. It felt like Jericho was trying to be like his James Bond villain. Like, in wrestling, you can't kill the guy, so he just tortures him. He takes out his eye. And then he makes a whole bunch of eye puns, which are very comical. And I know it's Roger Moore-ish. I never consider Roger Moore the most... Because I consider him the most camp, I don't know. There's a lot of campness. In any case, he does. So QT Marshall. So Jericho, he's like this James Bond villain. He talks all these eye puns. He's like Raw Julian Street Fighter, and basically just says this a million times. I guess you didn't see that, did you? The Butcher and the Baker, the Butcher and the Blade versus and MJF versus not Cody, Dustin Rhodes, and DDP and QT Marshall. Didn't see that much of it. I didn't see DDP wrestle. So I think QT Marshall. QT Marshall they have his own offense in against MJF, and I think that taunted him. I think it'd be good if MJF not only feuded with Moxley over the whole eye poke thing, like it was alluded to by the announcers, but also QT Marshall because he has that sympathetic story to make him more heel. To make because QT Marshall has a sympathetic story to make MJF more heel. MJF as a heel, I was having doubts with since they had the whole he's part of the elite thing. He's an anti-hero. He's could have been a lot more interesting, but they needed more heels, I guess. So they had MJF be heel, and he's naturally a heel anyway, and I felt that worked. So yeah, have him feud QT Marshall, beat him up in front of Cody Rhodes, and then Cody Rhodes can't do anything about it. I guess he gets suspended as Booker or whatever, but we shall see. What are your thoughts? Subscribe. Darby Allin lost to Pac in the main event of AEW Bash at the Beach. It wasn't for the title, even though it was like a special Dynamite. It could be heel versus heel. Guevara lost his match, but Moxley could be injured with that eye injury. We should see Moxley versus Pac again. We'll see if it's going to be heel versus heel or if they're going to turn Pac face or whatever. What if else? Like, comment, subscribe.